Good morning and welcome to Arkandov Presbyterian Church in Odenton, Maryland. I'm Brian Boudreau, the Clerk of Session here at Arkandov, and your host in the lobby, the weekly program of the life and ministry of the church. Now, this is the fifth Sunday in Lent, so we're getting very close to Easter, and we will be celebrating communion. In just a little bit, I will be talking to Greg Makar about decorated Ukrainian eggs for Easter. So really looking forward to that. But first, let's dive into the announcements. Today, after the 10:30 service, we will have the parent group meeting, and it will be a pizza lunch. So all parents and caregivers of school-age children are welcome. Childcare will be provided for a small cost. So just come on over to the church and enjoy some pizza and talk to others who have kids. The facilities ministry will be meeting via Zoom on April 4th at 7 p.m. So even if you're not a part of the facilities ministry, I know that they are always looking for extra hands to help out. So please consider joining them on the 4th at 7 p.m. You can reach out to Autumn Vernon at facilities@arkandov.org to get the Zoom link. Now, the children's choir continues every week, and it's not too late to sign your child up for choir. So it is at 9:45 every Sunday in the Marshall Room. You can bring your child and drop them off. They will be finished by 10:30 and can join their families for the 10:30 service. If you have any questions, please reach out to Abby Boudreau or Christina Nelson to get your child signed up. Now, the Lenten small groups still continue. We are reading Good Enough 40-ish devotionals for a lifetime of imperfection by Kate Ballard and Jessica Ritchie. So there's lots of sessions. There's one on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So please check out the archive, go to the webpage. You can find the contact there and reach out to the moderator, and they will get you signed up. And we talked last week about Fellowship Hour. It is back and we need your help. So we're looking for families to sign up, to bring in a treat. It can be homemade. It can be however you want it to be, to share with the rest of the congregation. If you are interested in signing up, please reach out to our Outreach and Connections Elder Katie Nelson Johnson. This is also a reminder that the Healing Through Grief group will be meeting April 9th at 7:30 p.m. So if you're interested in meeting with this group, please reach out to Lenny Gardner to get the Zoom invitation. The Anti-Racism and Social Justice team invites you to join their sessions coming up. They have a Zoom planning session for anti-racism efforts on April 19th at 7 p.m. They also have Racism 101 on the 24th of April at 2 p.m. and then Racism 102 on May 1st at 2 p.m. All of these via Zoom. And then finally, on April 26th at 7 p.m., the Affinity group discussion, which is a follow-up to the Nice Racism study that the group did. So if you have any questions about this, please reach out to Paula Sparks or Deb Saylor. Friendly Seniors are putting together a group to go see a live theater production of Fences. It will be April 24th at 2 p.m. Joan Berry is putting this group together. We need at least 10 people to sign up, and you get it's at a reduced cost of $15. If we don't get 10 people, it's $22 per adult and $17 per student. So if you have questions and you want to sign up, please reach out to Joan Berry for that. The refugee resettlement team will have a Zoom meeting on April 12th at 7 p.m. So come and find out how you can be a part of the refugee resettlement team. You can reach out to Debbie Airy if you have any questions. If you haven't heard much about refugee resettlement, this will be for Afghan refugees, sponsored by the Lutheran Resettlement Services. So it's a great group to work with. And then finally, I just want to remind everybody that the Arkandov Summer Book Series will be starting sooner than you can imagine. It will be starting in May. On May 17th, that's a Tuesday at 7:30 p.m., we'll be reading Gilead by Marilynne Robinson. And so this is part of a larger series all through the summer. I saw the list of the books and it looks like a lot of fun. So hopefully you'll consider signing up. This week, I'm really excited to have with us Greg Makar to talk about one of his family traditions for Easter. So without giving away too much, welcome, Greg. It's great to have you here on the lobby.
Thank you, Brian. It's good to see you again. Good to be here.
So as I was saying in my introduction, that this is a family tradition of yours, and I don't want to give away too much, but let's talk about Easter eggs.
Next weekend, we'll have the event at church where we're making Ukrainian Easter eggs called pisanki, and we will be writing pisanki because Pisanki comes from the verb pisar, which is to write. They're familiar with this type of egg decorating, or writing. They might have seen designs like these really fancy ones on this card. But it's fun and easy to make other simpler designs like this one with just some bands of color. This one has some flowers on it. And you might wonder, well, what's different about these eggs? We have colored eggs around Easter time, and they're pretty and they make good eating. This style of making eggs always offers vibrant colors and designs, whatever you can. If you can write it with a pencil, you can write it on a Pisanki.
That brings up several questions that I have for you. And first off, so we're talking eggs. These are real eggs?
They're real eggs, and they're raw. They don't make good eating.
Is the yolk still in, or do you take the yolk out?
The yolk is in when you do the writing, because it needs to sink down into the dye. The color comes from dyes like this. The writing is done while the egg is raw, and that makes it a little difficult. You can spend a lot of time making an egg and then drop it and have it break, but it is raw when you make it, and it normally dries out slowly over the course of years and without any problems. Occasionally, while it's drying out, it may crack. And also there are ways to blow out the insides after you've made it to prevent that from happening.
For the Ukrainian egg session, or will you be blowing out the eggs, or we're going to be handling raw eggs?
I don't think there will be time to do that. And the blowing out has to be done afterwards, or it won't sink down into the dye. I'll explain how to do it for people who want to know. Maybe we have time to do a demo.
So you have to have the yolk in there,
right,
weigh down the egg in the dye as it takes on the color, and then only afterwards you can take the yolk and the white out. Wow. Okay.
Correct.
So let's talk about the mechanics then. So now you've dyed the egg. You can dye it any color, I suppose. Are there some traditional color?
Right. Well, we probably should back up on how you get the design on there. This is called a kistka. It's just a little copper funnel wired to a stick, and so it has a small opening. They make different sizes of openings, and so we put some beeswax in the opening of the kistka, heat the tip up over a candle flame, and then write the design on the egg.
Greg, this is much more complex than I thought. I really thought what we were doing was we were just like dyeing the outer color and then painting on top of that. But no, this is very different than that. So first you're putting the design on, right? And then you're dyeing the egg.
Many types of art, if you think about making, say, a yellow design, often it's with a marker that's yellow on a poster, or say a paintbrush in yellow paint on your canvas. This is a little different. If we want our design if we want yellow in our design, what we'll do is first put on whatever we want white. We cover with wax. We make, using the kistka, we put wax on the white egg, and then we put it in the yellow dye. And now whatever we put the wax on is going to stay white. To have a yellow design, you take your yellow egg and put wax on it on the parts that you want to remain yellow, and then move on to the next.
So you have to build up. Greg,
right.
Can you hold up that picture again of those eggs?
Sure.
So what we're looking at many, many layers of different dyeing and designs of wax on this egg. Is that right?
Yes, those are steps of adding wax and going through successively darker colors. Each color has to cover up the last one.
Right. So what you're saying is you are teaching us how to do this next week.
Yes, and some people have did it. We did it 3 years ago. One mistake I feel like we made then is we didn't cover the very basics well enough to get started. So we have some slides put together that will just go over the real basics of how the process works, and just spend a few minutes on that. People who have already done it, or who understand it, some people, maybe it is intuitive, they can just move on. We'll also have some instruction sheets with particular designs that will guide you through step by step how to make that egg, when to put on the wax, when to put it in the next dye, which which color to put it in next, that sort of thing.
Yeah, these are absolutely beautiful eggs. How did you learn how to do this?
I learned very young. My family didn't do it every year, and usually around Easter time only. We didn't have it set up year round. I was young enough that I don't remember when it was exactly. And we did it some years we didn't. And I had my grandfather did some, my uncle did. He was the one who did the most in our family.
You're of Ukrainian descent?
Yes,
This is a family tradition that you have brought and you continue to share with Ark and Dove.
Yep.
That's great. The workshop that we're going to be doing next week, it's not just to learn how to do that, but we've got an ulterior motive, don't we?
that's right. It's going to be fun, but the proceeds will go to the Ukrainian relief assistance being provided by Presbyterian Disaster Assistance.
How much per person?
We will be asking for a donation of $20 or more.
Who can participate? Is this just for adults or can families participate?
Yes, definitely a family event, and children can do them. I think guidance for parents is if you feel like your child can work with a raw egg for about an hour and work around the open candle flame, then they can do it. And members from the community are welcome also.
Not just members of Ark and Dove, but if you've got a friend, go ahead and bring a friend too.
That's right.
Right. So this is for a good cause. So everyone should sign up, but you have limited seating. Is that right?
That's correct.
I think I remember last week it was 50 people. We're limited to 50
Okay.
people signing up. So I recommend people signing up as soon as they can. And this is a wonderful activity and a great way to support Presbyterian Disaster Assistance.
Yeah, the dyes will be set up in the lobby, and we'll provide when we set up the tables in the sanctuary, we'll provide the kistkas and wax and the eggs.
So you just need to show up, bring your hands, and show up and get ready to work on eggs.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Greg, for joining me and sharing this wonderful family tradition that you have.
You're welcome.
And thank you to everyone out there for joining us today. So glad that I was able to come into your home and that we could talk to you. Session wants to announce that Rebecca Bell Eccles will become our full-time music director, including leading a newly reconstituted band. So starting in about 8 weeks. So in the meantime, all the band members and any congregation member can join the choir for Thursday rehearsals at 7 p.m. and Sunday mornings for the 10:30 service. Everything that we talked about today can be found in the archive or on the webpage. So please check that out. And in the meantime, stay safe, and I wish you the best on your Lenten journey. And we'll see you next week.